Hey man, what's up? I heard you
Hey,
taking the
what's good?
FTMO challenge. How much are you risking per trade?
I'm just using the same lot for every trade.
Same lot size. You don't change the lot based on your stop loss?
Nah, man, I really don't know how to calculate my risk, so I just use the same lot size every trade. I mean, sometimes I'm risking 1,000 per trade. Sometimes I'm risking about 2,000.
Bruh, it's gonna be hard to beat the FTMO challenge like that. You have to aim to keep your wins higher than your losses. It's gonna be hard to do that if you don't risk the same amount on each trade. Personally, man, I use some Magic Keys, and it'll allow me to set a risk percentage. And if my stop loss is 10 pips or 30 pips, it'll calculate the lot for me, allowing me to remain consistent. Man, for me, I personally risk 1% on every single trade, no matter what.
I trade from my phone, so I can't use Magic Keys.
Trade from your phone? Bruh, come on, man, what are you doing? All right, man, that's for another conversation.
Did you just say that you give the same risk to all of your trades?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that's the best strategy that I found on YouTube.
Pro traders don't risk the same amount on every setup. They give their A setups exponentially more risk. And the C setups are like the lady in the red dress in The Matrix. In The Matrix, to teach Neo a simple lesson, Morpheus takes him on a training program. And they're walking through a crowd. And a woman in a red dress stands out, distracting Neo while he's listening to Morpheus. Morpheus turns around and asks if he was listening or if he was looking at the woman in the red dress. He tells him to look again, and it is Agent Smith pointing a gun at his head. The C setups are like the woman in the red dress, enticing you during the challenge, but they are your worst enemy.
Yo, that makes a lot more sense.
When it comes to risk management, all you are told is to risk 1% per trade. Pros use a different strategy. In this video, I'll explain the risk strategy I use to pass 7 prop firm challenges and how you can customize it to pass the FTMO challenge almost every time. Let's begin with the common issues. Traders generally have 3 problems with risk management. Number 1, they risk the same amount on all of their setups, regardless of quality. Their worst performing setups get the same investment as their best performing ones. To use a sports analogy, we wouldn't pay LeBron James, me, and Kanye West the same amount to play in the NBA. Pay is based on performance and reliability. LeBron is 6'9", averages 27 points per game, has 4 championship rings, and has played in the NBA for 20 years. Me, I'm 5'6", I average 4 points per game, no championships, and only played formal basketball for 2 years. And Kanye West, we have no stats on him. So LeBron would be the equivalent of an A+ setup. Great multi-time frame confirmations stacking up high in his favor. Great average win rate and setups that withstand time. I would be equivalent to a C grade setup. Confirmations don't stack in my favor very high. I didn't score a lot of points. My average win rate was very low. I only had 2 years of formal basketball. So I would be a setup that is poorly performing and doesn't have a good track record. Kanye West would be the setups that we don't have any data on. He could be very good, but we don't know. It would be similar to trades or patterns that the trader was not able to verify for himself. This trader probably learned the pattern from a book or a course, but hasn't verified its accuracy. So during the challenge, people fail because traders are risking the same amount on A, C, and unknown setups. Their equity curve is taking a hit by the C and unknown setups. We will dive deeper into this later in the video. Number 2, during the challenge, traders follow generic risk advice. Risking 1% doesn't work for everyone when trying to hit the 10% target. Every trader should customize their risk plan based on how many times their A setup appears in the month, their average win rate, and average R&R. There are different types of traders: scalpers, intraday traders, swing traders, position traders, and each one of those traders has to customize their risk to hit the 10% target based on their particular trading system. Trading takes strategy, just like basketball. Our position sizing should be based on our trading strategy. We will cover this also in greater detail shortly. Number 3, traders don't keep their risk consistent. A lot of traders enter their lot sizes manually, sometimes risking more or less than they should. If you trade high volatile pairs like indices or metals, trying to calculate your lot size on the fly or using the same lot with different stop losses will cause your risk to be more than intended. I highly recommend that you include an EA that will automatically calculate your risk for you. You tell it what percent you want to risk, you set the stop loss, and it'll calculate your lot size automatically. Let's dive a little deeper into all 3. Going back to number 1, risking based on grade. Let's look at 4 traders. Trader 1 gives his A, B, and C grade setups the same risk during the challenge. He takes 4A, 6B, and 10C setups during the challenge. The B and C appear more often. That's why I have them labeled this way. The win rates are as follows. A has 90%, B 50%, and C 10%. Out of 20 trades, he ends up with a 1% profit at the end of the challenge. Trader 2, same win rate, but assigns risk based on grade. A risk has 1%, B 0.5%, and C risk 0.25%. He does better than Trader 1, but still ends with 5% profit. The C trades are dragging him down. So Trader 3 drops the C setups, but the B setups still drag him down and he only makes 7%. So what does Trader 4 do? Trader 4 drops both B and C and he raises his risk to 2% per trade on the A setups. He blows the challenge out of the water with only 4 trades compared to the others who took between 10 and 20 trades. This takes a lot of focus, patience, discipline, and research, but this is an optimal way to conduct risk. If you think I am exaggerating, take a look at my challenges. So here, 0 losses. Only A setups here. I recommend that you identify your A setups, those that have the highest win rate out of the month. You prepare to only trade those setups during the challenge. You find out how many times these A setups appear, and then you can use this formula that will help us with problem number 2. Problem number 2 is that traders don't customize their risk based on their trading system. So how do we customize our risk? You need to know 3 things. Average amount of times your setup appears in the month, average risk to reward, average win rate. You can gather all of this data from back testing or your old trading data. Now, look at the following scenario. We will determine how much you will risk by doing the following. Take your wins, maybe 6 wins and 4 losses, okay? So take your wins and multiply them by the reward. Take your losses and multiply them by your risk. Subtract the totals. Now multiply that amount by your normal risk percentage and see if you will be above 10%. If not, you need to raise your risk percentage or your reward. This may seem like a lot, but it's all math. It's better to have precision when you're taking the challenge. Most people take challenges blindly based on feelings and assumptions. Everyone can pass the challenge almost every time by using simple math. I want you to think about this. You have to hit a 10% target in 30 days. Even the most skilled traders in the industry will find this to be challenging. You have to be methodical. So using FTMO's equity simulator, you can plug these numbers in and see an expected outcome for your trading style. You can also use the simulator to gain confidence. The simulator will show you the power of win rates in R&R. It generates a different amount of combination of outcomes based on how many scenarios you want to give it. So let's do a few quick scenarios. 50% win rate, 1-to-1 R&R, 20 trades. The outcome is 50-50 chances of winning the challenge. So these lines here show the different traders that took the challenge using these numbers. We want to do way better than this. We want the odds to be in our favor much more than this. Let's raise the win rate to 60%. 1-to-3 R&R, 20 trades. Out of 10 traders, everyone beats the challenge. So plugging in the numbers to the tool will give you a good idea of if you are ready or not. If your numbers are right, you should trade with confidence. Take the challenge. If they aren't, you should tweak your numbers. When people see that I give 2% to A+ trades during the challenge, they are surprised. I do it confidently because the math makes sense for my trading style. I know my data. Now, on to problem number 3, inconsistent risk. The 2 strategies above only work if you can keep your risk consistent. The problem with new traders is that they are risking different amounts per trade, which throws off the benefit of risk to reward and win rate. The law of the risk to reward states that your losses should be smaller than your wins. If your R&R is 1 to 3, 3 consecutive losses can be wiped out with 1 winning trade. This is what trading is about. Trading is not about 100% win rates. The only way for us to achieve 100% win rate is through insider trading. And that's not what we do. So the problem with the beginners is that they risk 1% for the 3 losses and then risk 0.04% for the win. And the win here in this case will not take care of the losses. My advice to you is to use an EA. I use Magic Keys and it helps me keep my risk consistent. I enter the risk percentage. When I drag my stop loss, it'll automatically calculate my lot. With consistent risk, I'll be able to take advantage of my R&R of 1 to 3 minimum. There are many EAs out there for around $40 to $50. Magic Keys is about $135 because it's a keyboard. Find an EA to calculate your lots for you. You can focus on entering, exiting, you can focus on analysis, you can focus on your process a little bit easier if you have an EA that calculates the lots for you and keeps your risk consistent. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Find those ace setups and give them more risk. To see my top 5 tips on beating the FTMO challenge, watch this video.